In today's world where social media and digital communication are ever present, maintaining personal boundaries has become a vital skill. We're constantly bombarded with expectations, social, familial, and professional. It can be easy to forget that we have the right to set limits around what we allow others to know, see, or ask of us. Boundaries protect our mental, emotional, and physical well-being, giving us the space to flourish on our own terms. Social interactions. Without boundaries, we risk becoming overwhelmed, overextended, and ultimately losing sight of who we are. Setting boundaries isn't about being distant or unkind. It's about creating a safe space where we can thrive. When you define where you end and others begin, you give yourself the power to say no without guilt. Saying no is often the most empowering word in your vocabulary, as it allows you to preserve your energy for the things that truly matter. No one can take from you what you're not willing to give. Recognizing this power helps you stand firm in your choices, free from the pressure of outside influence. One of the most important aspects of personal boundaries is recognizing that you are the one responsible for defining them. It's easy to fall into the trap of pleasing others or trying to meet everyone's expectations, but that only leads to burnout. The reality is, no one else will advocate for your needs as strongly as you can. It's your job to communicate your boundaries clearly and assertively, and sometimes that means disappointing others. But that's okay, because you are honoring your needs in the process. Physical boundaries are one of the most obvious types to address, whether it's how close someone can stand to you, when it's appropriate to touch you, or simply the space you need to feel comfortable. These limits matter. We all have different comfort levels when it comes to personal space. Recognizing what feels comfortable to you and asserting those needs is a sign of self-respect. When you allow others to push past these boundaries, it can lead to discomfort, anxiety, and resentment. We need me. Protecting your personal space isn't just about avoiding physical discomfort. It's about ensuring you feel safe and respected. Emotional boundaries are equally important, though they often go unnoticed. It's all too easy to absorb the emotions and energy of those around us, especially when it comes to loved ones or colleagues. But constantly taking on the emotional load of others can drain you. Emotional boundaries allow you to support others without losing yourself in the process. You can listen, empathize, and be there for someone without taking on their stress or sadness as your own. Understanding where their emotions end and yours begin is key to maintaining your emotional health. Another aspect of personal boundaries involves time. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, and how we choose to spend it should be in alignment with our values and needs. Often we find ourselves saying yes to requests or obligations that aren't aligned with our priorities. Setting clear time boundaries means creating space for self-care, reflection, and rest. It also means being mindful of how much of your time you give to others. Time is a finite resource, and you have every right to use it in ways that serve your well-being. In relationships, both personal and professional, boundaries are necessary to ensure mutual respect. In personal relationships, boundaries help create a sense of safety and trust. When you communicate your limits, you allow the other person to understand how they can best support and care for you. It's not a sign of weakness to have boundaries. It's a sign of strength and self-respect. The same is true in professional settings. where boundaries around work hours, tasks, and expectations ensure that your time and energy are not taken for granted. Finally, boundaries are not static. As we grow, our needs and limits may shift. What was once acceptable may no longer be, and that's okay. Your boundaries evolve with your life experiences, your sense of self, and your goals. What's important is being flexible with yourself and others as you refine those limits over time. And above all, respecting the boundaries of others is just as important as honoring your own. Mutual respect and understanding create an environment where everyone feels safe, valued, and empowered to be their authentic selves. In a world where technology is constantly evolving, it's crucial to recognize the lasting impact of our digital footprints. Every photo, comment, tweet, and like we share online creates a trace, a record that can follow us throughout our lives. Once something is uploaded to the internet, it becomes part of a larger digital ecosystem that can be accessed and in some cases stored indefinitely. It's proven true that Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, and Twitter can impact the future of tens of millions, if not billions of people. Even if you delete something, it's important to understand that there may still be copies, caches, or remnants elsewhere. Being aware of this is the first step in managing how you present yourself in the digital world. The need for digital footprint awareness has never been more urgent, particularly for younger generations who have grown up in a connected world. For them, online actions often start in childhood, long before they fully understand the implications of what they post. Social media platforms, blogs, and online communities are filled with moments of joy, frustration, or even mistakes. That might feel fleeting at the time, but could be dug up years later. These moments can shape public perception and influence both personal and professional opportunities. When it comes to our digital footprint, privacy settings are one of the most important tools at our disposal. Social media platforms give us the ability to control who sees our posts, but it's essential to regularly review and update these settings. Many platforms change their default privacy settings over time, sometimes making more of our information public without us realizing it. Being proactive about managing your privacy settings means taking control of who has access to the information you share and how it's used. One of the most overlooked aspects of digital footprints is the information we share without even thinking about it. Whether it's a photo taken at a party, a location tag on a vacation, or an innocuous comment on a friend's post, we're constantly adding data to the vast web of the internet. Even small details, like the type of food we eat or the places we frequent, can be collected and used by marketers, advertisers, or even people with malicious intent. Today, we'll cover data usage by marketers, advertisers, or even people with malicious intent. Each of these pieces of information paints a picture of who we are. And it's important to ask ourselves, what does this reveal about me? Furthermore, a significant part of managing our digital footprint is understanding the potential long-term consequences of our online behavior. The internet has a way of keeping records, and what may seem like a harmless post or tweet today might be interpreted very differently in the future. A moment of humor, frustration, or venting could come back to haunt you in a professional context or personal relationship down the line. Being mindful of how we express ourselves online and considering how it might be perceived years later can help prevent potential regrets. One of the most powerful tools to protect your digital footprint is knowledge. Understanding the platforms you use and how they handle your data gives you the upper hand in controlling your digital identity. It's essential to read and understand terms of service agreements, privacy policies, and the ways your personal data might be shared or sold. Many people skip over these agreements without fully comprehending the extent of their data usage, leaving themselves vulnerable to privacy invasions or unwanted exposure. Another important consideration is the concept of digital permanence. While we may think of online platforms as temporary or fleeting, the reality is that many digital archives and search engines can retrieve content from years ago. It's worth remembering that employers, schools, and even future business partners may look into your past digital presence. Something you thought was private or gone forever may resurface in the form of a search result or a cached page. Being intentional with what you post ensures that what you leave behind reflects the version of yourself you want the world to see. Lastly, we must consider how our digital footprint affects our interactions with others. Our friends, family, and colleagues are often included in the online content we create, whether it's tagging them in a photo or mentioning them in a post. It's essential to respect their privacy as much as your own. Before sharing something involving others, consider whether they would feel comfortable with it being online. And digital awareness isn't just about protecting your own information. It's also about being mindful of how your actions affect the privacy and safety of those around you. Digital awareness isn't just about protecting your own information. It's also about protecting the privacy and safety of those around you. In today's fast-pacing world, mental health and well-being have become topics of increasing importance. The pressures of modern life, from social media to professional demands, can often leave individuals feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and disconnected. It's crucial to recognize that mental health isn't just about managing illness. It's about creating a foundation for long-term well-being. Just as we take steps to care for our physical health, it's vital to prioritize mental health by developing habits, seeking support, and creating environments that nurture our minds. In this episode, we entertain your questions about how our personal health program is going and talk about our views on humility. One of the first steps in maintaining good mental health is understanding that it's okay not to be okay. There's often a stigma surrounding mental health struggles, which makes it difficult for many people to admit when they need help. But the truth is, mental health challenges are just as real as physical health challenges, and they should be treated with the same level of care and compassion. Being open about struggles, whether with friends, family, or a mental health professional, is a powerful first step toward healing and self-care. The connection between mental and physical health is often underestimated, but it is incredibly important. Poor mental health can manifest in physical symptoms such as headaches, fatigue, and difficulty sleeping. Conversely, maintaining a healthy body through exercise, good nutrition, and adequate rest can significantly improve mental well-being. Practices like mindfulness and meditation also promote mental clarity and reduce stress. When you take care of your body, you're also taking care of your mind, creating a balanced foundation for overall health. Self-care plays a critical role in preserving mental well-being. While the idea of self-care can often be viewed as indulgent or superficial, it's actually about taking proactive steps to recharge and nurture your emotional and psychological health. This can involve activities such as setting aside time for relaxation, engaging in hobbies, spending time in nature, or practicing gratitude. It's important to remember that self-care is not a one-time activity, but an ongoing process that requires intentionality and consistency to be effective. In today's digital age, one of the most significant challenges to mental health is the constant exposure to social media. While these platforms allow us to connect with others and share moments of our lives, they also create an environment of comparison and competition. Constantly scrolling through idealized images of others' lives can lead to feelings of inadequacy or anxiety. It's crucial to be mindful of how social media affects your mental health and to take breaks when needed. Curating your online experience, unfollowing accounts that create stress, and limiting screen time can help protect your mental well-being. And I know it's hard with all the low-emission cell phones out there, but minimalizing your screen time protects your health. Another essential element of mental health is managing stress. We all face challenges, but chronic stress can have profound effects on both the mind and body. Learning to cope with stress in healthy ways, such as through breathing exercises, journaling, or seeking social support, can help mitigate its harmful impact. Developing emotional resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, is a vital skill in maintaining mental health. It's important to recognize when stress levels are too high and to take action before it becomes overwhelming. Mental health and well-being are also deeply connected to our relationships with others. Having a strong support system can make all the difference when it comes to managing emotional challenges. It's not just about having people around you, but about having people who listen, understand, and offer empathy. Whether it's family, friends, or a therapist, having someone to talk to can help lighten the emotional load. And on the other hand, toxic relationships can have a detrimental effect on mental health, draining energy and creating unnecessary stress. Recognizing the importance of healthy, supportive connections is key to maintaining balance in life. Finally, it's important to recognize that mental health is a journey, not a destination. Life will always present challenges, and it's natural to experience periods of stress, sadness, or uncertainty. What matters most is how we approach these moments and how we care for ourselves in the process. Mental well-being is not about achieving perfection, but about developing the tools and strategies to navigate life's ups and downs with strength and grace. The tools and strategies to navigate life's ups and downs with strength and grace by creating a mindset of self-compassion, seeking help when needed, and taking proactive steps to nurture our mental health. We can ensure that we are equipped to face whatever comes our way. In today's world, financial information is one of the most sensitive aspects of our personal lives. As financial transactions and data move increasingly online, it's important to be aware of how much personal information we share and where we share it. Financial details such as income, debt, investments, and spending habits provide a deep insight into our lives. By maintaining discretion about these details, we safeguard not only our financial security, but also our privacy and peace of mind. One of the first steps in managing financial information is understanding the risks associated with sharing too much. With the rise of digital banking, online shopping, and various financial platforms, it's easier than ever to disclose personal financial information. Yet with this convenience comes the danger of exposure. Cyber attacks, Identity theft and data breaches are real threats, and sharing too much financial information on unsecured platforms can leave us vulnerable. And gradually, it's essential to ensure that any financial communication is done securely with passwords, two-factor authentication, and reputable service providers. In addition to security risks, sharing financial information too freely can lead to unnecessary judgment or pressure from others. Money is a deeply personal topic, and what you earn or how you spend it can attract opinions and unsolicited advice. For example, discussing your salary with friends or family can lead to comparisons or uncomfortable conversations. Maintaining boundaries around your financial information allows you to avoid these situations and focus on your own financial goals without external distractions. Another important consideration when managing financial information is the impact on personal relationships. Money is often a point of tension in friendships, family dynamics, and romantic partnerships. While it's important to be transparent with partners about shared expenses and financial commitments, revealing every financial detail can create stress or unease. It's crucial to determine what is necessary to share and when to keep certain aspects private, so that financial matters do not overshadow the relationship. Clear communication about finances is vital, but there's also value in maintaining some privacy to protect both your relationship and your emotional well-being. When it comes to professional environments, keeping financial information private is equally important. Disclosing your financial status to colleagues or superiors can lead to unintended consequences, including being pigeonholed into specific roles or being seen as overly ambitious or not ambitious enough. Salary discussions, bonuses, and personal financial struggles should be kept separate from the workplace, as they have no bearing on your professional worth or the quality of your work. The spiritual meaning of the phrase, rich is the people of God. Maintaining this separation allows for a clearer focus on career advancement and work performance without the added pressure of financial disclosure. Financial information can also be sensitive in the context of long-term planning. Many of us have goals related to retirement, savings, investments, or purchasing a home. However, it's important to keep these plans private, especially when others may not fully understand your approach or timing. Financial planning is a deeply individual process, and it requires careful consideration of your own circumstances. Sharing these goals prematurely can lead to unnecessary advice, comparisons, or even skepticism from others who may not be in the same financial situation. Another aspect of financial privacy involves the need to protect your credit and personal financial records. Your credit score, for instance, can have a significant impact on your ability to secure loans or favorable interest rates. It's essential to keep this information private to prevent misuse or unauthorized access. Monitoring your financial records regularly, being cautious of phishing scams, and ensuring that your personal details are only shared with trusted institutions are all ways to protect your credit and financial future. And lastly, protecting your financial information helps you maintain control over your financial decisions. When we share too much, we risk allowing others to influence our spending habits or financial goals. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to live up to others' expectations or comparing yourself to peers. By keeping your financial details private, you are better positioned to make independent decisions that align with your own values, priorities, and aspirations. This sense of autonomy is essential for building a healthy financial future and a sense of financial empowerment. Relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships, are deeply personal and should be treated with the utmost care and respect. Every relationship has its own unique dynamics, which are built on trust, understanding, and mutual respect. One of the most important aspects of nurturing healthy relationships is recognizing the boundaries around what should remain private. While sharing certain details with others can foster connection, revealing too much too soon or too often can undermine the integrity and trust that these relationships are built on. Romantic relationships in particular are often a source of vulnerability as they involve the sharing of deep emotions, personal desires, and intimate experiences. However, not every moment in a relationship needs to be shared with the world. What happens between partners is sacred, and some moments of closeness, growth, or conflict should stay between the individuals involved. Broadcasting every detail of our relationship, whether in social media posts or casual conversations, can disrupt the intimacy that is central to its strength, turning private moments into public performances. Similarly, when it comes to family dynamics, certain details should be kept private to preserve the peace and harmony within the family unit. Family relationships can be complex, with multiple generations, differing perspectives, and emotional ties. Sharing intimate details about family issues, disagreements, or personal struggles with others outside the family can create unnecessary tension or invite judgment. This can lead to misunderstandings or strained relationships that were once solid. By keeping some aspects of family life private, you protect the bond that ties you to your loved ones and create a safe space for resolution. Friendships, too, have their boundaries, and it's crucial to recognize the difference between being open and being overly transparent. While good friends should be able to confide in each other and offer support, there is a limit to how much personal or sensitive information should be shared. Some conversations are meant to be between two people, and discussing them with others may not only breach trust, but could also damage the friendship. Much love to you both. Blessings in your family. Maintaining discretion in friendships ensures that the trust you've built remains intact and that both parties feel safe and respected. The act of sharing intimate details, whether it's about a relationship or personal life, often comes with the intention of seeking advice or support. While this can be a positive aspect of being open with others, it's important to remember that advice is subjective. Not everyone will have the same perspective, and sometimes well-meaning advice can add pressure or cause further confusion. That's why it's important to remember that advice is subjective, and sometimes well-meaning advice can add pressure or cause further confusion. It's crucial to gauge the intentions of the person you're confiding in, ensuring that they have the capacity to provide constructive and supportive feedback rather than judgment or unwarranted opinion. Moreover, keeping intimate details private fosters a sense of autonomy in your relationships. When too much is shared, particularly with outsiders, it can erode the sense of agency that each individual should have in managing their own relationship. Whether it's handling disagreements or making major life decisions, it's essential to preserve the ability to work through these issues privately. And as I mentioned before, no matter who you are, success becomes something larger than your individual control. And this is the lesson that in ultimately basic sense, it can erode the sense of agency that each individual should have in managing their own relationships. Having a strong sense of control over your personal life, including what is shared and with whom, ensures that decisions are made based on mutual understanding and not external influence. The idea of privacy in relationships also extends to the concept of emotional vulnerability. While it's natural to want to express feelings of joy, sadness, or frustration to others, the depth of emotional vulnerability shared should be carefully considered. Revealing too much about the emotional undercurrents in a relationship can invite unnecessary concern or unwanted opinions, which might not be helpful in the long run. Maintaining boundaries around emotional expression ensures that the relationship remains the primary space for these vulnerable exchanges, strengthening the emotional connection between partners, friends, or family members. End of footnote. Finally, privacy in relationships is key to preventing the potential for external pressure or interference. When others are aware of the most intimate details of a relationship, it opens the door for them to comment, offer unsolicited advice, or even influence decisions. This can create an environment where the individuals involved in the relationship no longer feel in control of their own choices, leading to resentment or confusion. So often, we ascribe to others what we do without control of our own choices, leading to resentment or confusion. Protecting the privacy of intimate details allows individuals to navigate their relationships free from outside influence, empowering them to make decisions based on their own values and experiences. Personal dreams and goals are the driving forces behind our aspirations, shaping our vision for the future. These dreams often represent the deepest desires of our hearts, the things we wish to achieve, experience, or become. They offer purpose and direction, guiding us through life's challenges and inspiring us to push beyond our limits. However, not all dreams and goals need to be shared with others in order to be meaningful or achievable. Sometimes keeping them private is necessary to maintain focus, avoid unnecessary judgment, and protect the integrity of our journey. When we share our dreams and goals with others, we invite external opinions, which can sometimes be more discouraging than supportive. People may project their own fears, doubts, or limitations onto our aspirations, subtly dissuading us from pursuing them. While well-meaning, unsolicited advice or skepticism can lead us to second-guess ourselves, making us question whether we are capable or deserving of reaching our goals. By keeping our personal dreams and goals private, we reduce the influence of these outside voices, allowing ourselves to maintain a sense of confidence and autonomy in our pursuit. Moreover, personal dreams and goals are often in the process of evolution. The dreams we have today may not be the same as those we have a few years from now. The path to achieving a goal can be winding and unpredictable, and what might seem like a clear vision today could shift as we gain new insights or experiences. And often, keeping our dreams private allows for the flexibility to adapt and change without feeling pressured to explain every change of direction or refine our aspirations to fit the expectations of others. I pray that today, in addition, maintaining privacy about our goals creates an inner sense of motivation that comes from within, rather than from external sources. There is something powerful about pursuing a dream without the need for validation or approval from others. When we keep our aspirations private, we are free to define success on our own terms, without comparing our progress to others or seeking external praise. There is no check or examination. This sense of self-driven determination can help us stay on track and move forward with conviction, even when the journey gets tough. Personal dreams and goals are not just about career achievements or material success. They often touch on deeply personal desires related to personal growth, relationships, or life experiences. Whether it's learning a new skill, traveling to a dream destination, or becoming a more compassionate person, these goals are integral to our sense of fulfillment. Sharing such dreams with others might invite well-meaning but intrusive questions, or lead to unwanted expectations that don't align with our true desires. By keeping these personal dreams private, we protect the purity of our goals and the intrinsic satisfaction of working toward them for ourselves rather than for the approval of others. Producer of the phrase "dreaming big," Brian Robinson, saved the World Series running codename Ken. Additionally, there's a certain vulnerability in sharing our most cherished dreams. These goals are often tied to our sense of identity and worth, and revealing them can expose us to potential judgment or ridicule. Keeping our dreams private gives us the space to nurture them without the fear of them being dismissed or criticized prematurely. Obviously, religious consent matters, and having adequate consent matters is a natural instinct for people. This protected space allows us to explore our ambitions freely, making adjustments as necessary without the weight of others' opinions affecting our confidence or self-esteem. The act of maintaining privacy around our goals also allows us to celebrate accomplishments on our own terms. Achieving a dream is often a deeply personal victory, one that reflects the hours of hard work, dedication, and resilience invested in the process. When we keep our goals private, we create the opportunity to celebrate those milestones in a way that feels authentic to us, free from the need for external validation or applause. When these quiet victories often bring more profound satisfaction, as they reflect our inner strength and determination. Finally, personal dreams and goals are intrinsically tied to our values and passions, and they often serve as a compass for the decisions we make in life. When we open up about every goal or aspiration, we risk inviting external pressures that may cause us to deviate from our path or lose sight of what truly matters to us. By keeping certain goals private, we maintain ownership over our decisions and prevent the influence of others from derailing our course. Each goal, each personal dream or aspiration is responsible for setting a goal around that very course. This allows us to honor our true desires, stay grounded in our values, and move through life with clarity and purpose.